Go. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another exciting episode of Chasing Collectibles Catchup. I'm Tyler.
I'm Tim.
Yeah, you sure are.
Okay,
Look
guys.
who's
Can,
here.
can we,
Look,
listen?
who? Wait. What?
Hey,
We
it
can't even
was
have
your
one
son.
show.
It was
Just
your
one
son who
show?
invited me.
Nah, nah.
Okay,
Yeah.
listen.
Well, maybe I would invite you to more things if you knew how to act.
Okay,
I
hold
know
on.
how to act.
Let's
Apparently, you
let's
do not.
let's
You've
be
been on
civil.
this
Okay,
train
guys.
longer than
We're
I have.
we're we
What
we all
I
know
do in
about
my personal time is none of your concern, sir.
we sure. Okay, guys. We all know what's going on. We just have to settle a couple things first. We all know that there's been a split. Um, a parting of ways, and there's just a couple outstanding things we need to settle. So there's a few things we need to decide who gets control over. So who has custody of the podcast, the banner, the phrase "Yay Comics." That'll be up for some dispute, of course. Who has, of course, the monetary rights to that? And I'm looking at this. Hold on, who made this list? Why am I on this list of who gets what?
But
I'm
just
not a
read the
thing.
list, Tyler. Just read the list. Don't
Read the
question it.
list so we can get this
I'll
done with so
I'll
I can
talk
get.
I'll talk to
I
you
mean,
later.
I'm 27 years old, I
I
think.
will, sir. I will talk to you later when we get home. Okay?
I'm in my
No,
house right
I
now. I
will
have a
talk.
mortgage.
We will talk when you get home.
I don't know
No,
where to
To
go. I
my
don't like
place.
this. This is not
no.
good for a
We
developing
will only
person.
see you on certain holidays and
Hmm,
one day a week.
hmm.
Yeah, well, I got the best holiday. It's May 4th, free comic book day. So you lose, sucker.
That's
So,
fine. I'm working that day.
so
Hmm.
hopefully,
Hey,
hopefully our viewers know that this is only half joking. That so Lauren, since we haven't done an episode of this in forever. And Lauren, you have started officially Purple Spider Comics. It's existed, right? But now you're like at shows, like you have a banner, your own physical separate thing. It's pretty cool.
yeah. It's been great. And Tim and I, we both set up next to each other almost every show that we've been at. And, it's like we never left each other. So it's really great. And it's a slow process. I can't do as many shows as Tim can do because of my band schedule and work schedule and the big part of it is life. So the shows that I can do, I always enjoy being there and hanging out with all my comic book buddies and all the vendors and all the friends that I've made during this whole thing. And man, we just have a blast. So yeah, it's all good. Everybody out there that thinks we're feuding, we are not.
Well, I
It's
remember
a fun game we like to play.
the
Yeah.
entire the entire origin of that joke was I think I can't remember, we don't have to say who it was, but like I think like Tim, you said somebody came up to you and was like, are you and Lauren okay or whatever? And it's like, yeah, we're literally still next to each other, and I still handle both their money. Like at times, like it's like you know, there's no beef,
Nope, none at all.
or is there? Hmm.
Yeah, it was the Henrys that got in the way.
It's just they're gonna just like the Beatles. They're gonna for years. Historians are gonna debate what caused the breakup. You know. Um,
Yeah, right. The
um,
music.
it was not just Yoko actually, but that's another podcast.
Yeah, it
Um,
is.
yeah, it's a whole thing. So, what have you been up to? It's been a few months. I finished my master's. I finished my master's in history, so that's exciting.
That's a massive feat. Congratulations on that. That is most excellent.
Thank
Yes,
you.
sir. If
Great.
I was wearing a hat, I would say hats off to you.
The part
Yeah.
part of the reason there hasn't been as many episodes is because we've all been super busy. Um,
Yep.
but that's cool. What about you guys?
What you want to go first, Lauren?
I'm pretty much just playing with the band and recording, doing different recording projects. any of the comic book shows that I can do. Been doing those. Travel is a big part of the band. You know, 12-hour days on the road, playing a show, turning around the next day, and coming home. So that takes up a lot of time and energy. But
Yeah.
that and just hanging out at home, working at the hardware store, doing what I can to keep a smile on the face.
Let's see. I've usually got my plate full with a number of things. Right now, trying to summarize. I guess the big thing right now is that I'm going to be a first time grandfather,
Cool.
and it's a process, getting ready for another baby uh, to come around, and another dog in the house. So
It's a
Wait,
zoo.
what?
yeah, yeah. So we have quite a bit going on in the family right now. With that, I'm super excited to be a granddaddy. We don't know the gender yet. We'll find that out this Saturday. Which is why my office right now. If you guys can see this, which I know you can't, but there's like balloons all around the floor because they've just been filling balloons and filling the office, storing the balloons in here. So looks like the flooring of a Sweet 16 party.
Oh boy. And that'll happen again in 16 years or so.
Yeah, yeah. It was like, just a little over a year ago was Emma's. So
Yep.
Wow. Hmm.
yeah.
Well, it is also I don't know if you guys it's this is kind of crazy to think about. It has been uh about 3 years now since Chasing Collectibles started, and I want to share something with you guys first. See if I can get this to pull up right. Um, a little throwback for everybody and to help the viewers, remember how we all got together. So this is you guys should all be able to see this. This is us, I believe, in 2020, I think, is when this show was. This probably was the spring Charlotte Comic Con. And we all met through that guy over there, Nick, of Nickel Spot Comics, now
Hmm.
Noble Nostalgia. And we all worked. I know, like Lauren, you were the general manager of Nickel Spot Comics.
Mm.
Um, I was an associate. Tim was a loiterer. Um,
a,
a menace, really.
I was a paid loiterer. I mean,
Okay,
I
I'm
had the
sorry.
best job of all.
Re- really, yes,
He was
He
the
did.
he was the Jersey rent collector.
He Tim did work for, he was paid. He did did shows and all that. But we met through there, and then it was December of 2019 that I believe it was kind of officially decided that I want to make sure, I hope I'm getting my years right. It's all a blur when you get this age of mine. But that Nick would be
Yeah.
closing Nickel Spot, and for about a year or so, you guys, Lauren, you kind of kept doing your own thing online, right? At Purple Spider Comics,
Hmm.
and then Tim in the background was talking to me, what if only we could like do something. So Tim, you want to talk about what you wanted to do, and here's this picture.
So yeah, I remember it was during the time that we were home during COVID, and we were talking back and forth. You know, Fun fact: me and Tyler did not know this at the time, but came to find out that we're actually neighbors. We had seen each other at work, and then um, found out that we were neighbors also. So we were just just decided wanted to get together and figure something else out that we can do involving comic books because we just love the whole atmosphere and superheroes and the whole genre of just hunting books and being around other people that love doing it too. So um one of the things that I've always enjoyed and what I always to this day tell people when they ask me, do you have such and such a book, and I'm like, I'm not really sure, but if I do, it's going to be in these boxes over here, and if I don't have it, usually I point them to someone else who I know has a a really large selection of books and usually really good pricing it. Um, and they just have to go hunting. They have to really do that digging. And I always tell them it's all about the thrill of the hunt, man. You
Mm-hmm.
just keep chasing. You got to chase them books, man. And thus chasing collectibles. That whole concept is kind of based on that. I think we had like another name before that, but it was
I have to look.
something or something.
It's something I don't remember. I think collectibles was one of the things we were trying to figure out what do we call this stuff, because it was like I think we talked about comics at one point, but then we realized that it's more than just comics. Um, so then collectibles was kind of a catch-all term. Um, so we somehow came up to chasing collectibles. I will say, Tim, almost I'm gonna out you here, although I like the idea too. Straight out the gate, we almost like committed a crime. Um, because we thought about doing raffles.
It's
Apparently,
okay. It won't be the first time, but
well,
I'm just kidding.
no, we
Uh,
learned that the
um,
idea was to
so
like,
yeah, we when first at first we were talking and like, man, like we should start talking to other people that who like to collect and just kind of sharing our things, and then it became like we can do something where we make a little bit of money doing this as well. And when Tyler was like, well, what should we do, and I'm like, well, why don't we start hosting like raffles or something like that? As a matter of fact, I still have the initial raffle machine that we were going to use. I still have it downstairs. I never opened it,
yeah,
but
that's bad juju. So I don't know if I'd open it.
yeah,
Um,
you know what? Maybe we'll raffle it. We'll raffle off the raffler later. But
that'd be pretty meta.
yeah,
Let me see if I can.
and
I'm
then
looking for a certain picture.
I came to find out that raffling comic books and items like that was illegal unless you were donating the money, um, the proceeds. So we were like, oh man, we don't want to get caught doing that.
Yeah,
So we stayed away from that.
yeah. And
But
then shortly, so that was 2021. The only reason I know it's 2021 is because the banner says established 2021. And then like I think that was like June, and then by August we kind of like still friends with Lauren, and we were like, hey, come here and do a video with us. Remember you did a video about grading
Yep.
um with us, and then we were just kind of like together, and we were like, well, wait a second, like you're doing your eBay thing, and we're doing stuff like why don't we all work together, because we already had before, and that kind of brought us, the three of us, together chasing collectibles.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
And then about a year later, like we did the shows all, we started off doing a podcast, which was great. That first year we did like 20 episodes in 1 year or something like that. We were kind of we did a lot that year, and then the amount of episodes plummeted when I went into grad school. um but then we this is a picture from our first show at the Be a Hero con in Lincolnton.
Where is it?
Can you see it?
I do
no,
not.
Oh, That's weird. It says I'm screen sharing.
All I see right now are thumbnails and one picture to the far right of my screen.
Interesting. Maybe I should try again. Let's try it again. Technical difficulties, folks. What about now?
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's a great
We
picture.
It is, and I mean, our setups is way bigger now. I remember that was an awesome show though, because it's like I think it was a relatively smaller show, and most people had maybe a table's worth, and we just brought everything because we didn't know, and so it worked out really well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, most of the building was selling toys and knickknacks and stuffed items and just stuff that wasn't really comic books. And we were one of the only vendors, maybe there was another vendor or two that had actual comic books instead of comic related stuff. So I think we did really well, and that just blew our ego out of proportion.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was good. That
it
was
was a good
fun.
show. It was a good start.
Yeah.
Here's another angle. You guys can see this.
Yep.
Let's see, and then I think this is our first Charlotte Comic Con.
Yep. Wow. And I think we've had the same spot ever since.
Yep,
Yep. Looky there, the crew
yeah.
Yeah.
and our good buddy Dave Hinson.
My hair got
Mr.
longer.
Dave.
This is
Oh, yes.
our old banner done by the great Lizzie Shepherd.
Yep. She was a guest.
Yep. Let's see what else I got. This is our interview with Nick,
Wow.
kind of bringing everything full circle. And don't think I have any pictures right now, but it's cool that we eventually got to the place where we started with like one table, then we got to two, and now three at the Charlotte Comic Con. Right, three or is it two? Or is it two?
I
Well,
think it's
we
still one table each.
Yeah, one
yeah,
table each. But we do that U shape.
yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, we make the best of our space. That's
Yeah.
for sure.
You know how the Mighty Ducks would form the V?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When we come together, we're like the Mighty Ducks, only we form the U.
That's right.
Exactly what I was thinking. And so
When
now
our
we've got
powers combine. Wait, that's Captain Planet.
and so with the whole Purple Spider comics thing, it's really just like like you said, not too much has changed except now there's the official Purple Spider is Chasing Collectibles, but
Mhm.
we all help each other. We're all still like Laura will probably come on the show still, you know. We'll
Mhm.
do this kind of stuff. Um, but it's been a cool journey.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. I do like going to shows and telling Lauren I'm going to flip his table, push his toys down, cause all sorts of ruckus.
I keep wondering what if he accidentally hits that shelf and everything goes falling over. He's gonna feel like a big pile of poo.
Yeah. I'm like, oh no,
Well, then
no.
people would really think you guys are fighting. Have you
Yep.
seen, in like basketball games where like the basketball player will intentionally fall over when like to get the foul,
It's
basically you
called a
make it
flop.
yeah, you make it dramatic. You should like if Tim ever brushes up to you, just fall over and be like, Tim.
Like, what are you doing? Shouldn't be doing this in front of our kid. It's not healthy.
Immediately Dave's like, we're not inviting them back.
Yeah.
They're causing
That's
too much ruckus.
that's the end of that. Um, but just to kind of transition us, um, you wouldn't think of in 2021, within 2 years was the first time we set up at Heroes. So, right, Chasing Collectibles was at Heroes last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big
And
step. That's
It's That's a big one. That's the professional term for that kind of show, is a big one.
Yeah. So last year we set up, we had a booth. This year we're setting up and we have a corner spot, and we are in, like, not the first row, but I believe the second row from the entrance. So I mean, that's, where you guys will see Dave's Comics will be right in the corner there,
Hmm.
uh like connected to Dave's Comics, also sort of facing Heroes. So that's yeah, that's definitely a level up.
Yeah, that's June 14th to the 16th. That's coming up. We have an interview with Shelton that will be released. Um, do you, Lauren? I know you're not like likely you're not working it, but are you going to be able to be at Heroes?
I'm hoping that I can come. I'm gonna hit some people up for an extra, wristband, and I might be able to get in. So I'll be talking to some people, see what I can
Nice.
get.
Yeah, it's always a good time.
Yep, yep. I like that's one part of doing shows, and I know this is true for all three of us, is when you're doing a show, you're the vendor, you
Mhm.
don't really get a lot of time to look around on the floor.
Mhm.
Um, I mean, we always love to go hunting. I mean, we'll get out for what, 10 minutes, 15 minutes
Hmm.
before we gotta feel like we gotta rush back. Um,
Yeah,
we're always hunting for our favorite toys. Me, I'm always after Spider-Man stuff, and Tim's after all kinds of different stuff, and Tyler, you're after, whatever cool book you can find, whatever cool toys are out there. But we just don't have a lot of time to do it when we're the actual vendor. So, I'm hoping that this time around at Heroes, I mean, last time I was there for a couple hours just wandering around until I couldn't handle it anymore. I had to go. But hopefully I'll get to do that again and
yeah.
find some treasures. And I'd be more than willing to step up and hang out at the booth while you go look around if you want to, Tim, Tyler.
Yeah, would be fun. And I know it's we're actually this same topic came up when we were talking to Shelton. Um, which people have either seen this episode or will see it. I haven't decided which one's coming out first. But he mentioned like Sheldon doesn't really get to like go around the show because he's always working. Um, and we kind of, because there's always been three of us. If you and Anita want to go off, or like Tim wants to go off, you know, I'm there, or one of us is there. But it is challenging. I'd say that's the biggest change. Is I used to go into shows being like, here's my budget of what I'm going to spend. Now I'm just like, okay, I'm here, I'm a vendor, and
Yeah.
I'm locked in.
Now the budget is time. How
Hmm.
much time can I get away from the booth?
I gotta uh, speak on behalf of Courtney, because what'll happen is Tim will make some money, and Tim's like, okay, I saw this toy. I'm like, Tim, no, this is profit. We have to, you know, that's not that's revenue. That's not budget.
Yeah.
That's revenue. You know.
Yeah. Yep.
It's a struggle, man. It's a real struggle.
Like, I
I
want
tell
lunch
you,
on the way
be-
home.
because I tell people all the time, and it's the truth. I'm still a collector before I'm a vendor.
Mhm.
Um,
Yep.
and it's really, really hard to be a vendor before you're a collector. And I know a lot of guys in this business that's what they do first is uh they're in it to make to be vendors and make money and things like that. And not saying that we're not. I'm just saying that I see things really cool all the time. It's it's not really hard to like twist my arm and be like, Tim, this is really awesome. And I just look at it like, oh my gosh, it really is. How much? Yeah, and then they'll
Tim's
tell me,
like,
and I'll
don't
be like, You
Tim's
know,
like, don't threaten me with a good time.
and you know what? One of these days, I'm gonna have my buddy Russell on from Capital Land Collectibles because like he's notorious for that. Like he knows me. Like this I recently got from him.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's like the Wolverine 50th anniversary collection of toys. There's four of them like in front of me, not the same ones, but and three of them came from Russell. He
Yeah.
knew which buttons of mine, you know.
It's not a hard button to push. Like it's, when
Yeah.
you go to like a door and like some doors you really gotta work it, or like you're pushing it and you realize it's a pull the whole time. Tim, you just gotta like, and the door is wide open, you know. With comic stuff, just comics. I'm not.
It's true. It's true because it would be like I can wear the same pair of shoes for 3 years, and those shoes will start like falling apart, and I'll be like, I think I got a few more months out of these,
It's like,
and
Tyler, you're not hungry, are you?
I
I'm like,
knew it.
water. Okay, the body only needs water. It can go for days with just water. So, um, and that's the truth. I mean, uh, and then it doesn't help that like I know a lot of the guys who do you know what we do. So every time they get something in that's like really, really awesome, like these holograms that I got from like Beardy Weirdy, from Chris, it's he knows I love Ninja Turtles. And he just happens to have Ninja Turtles right in front. Like as soon as I'm walking over to his table, he just like, dang,
Yep.
A drug dealer knows his people like cocaine.
and
It's like
and I'm okay with that. I go to Rebel Base Comics twice a month now, and there was a number of times I would just walk right into the store and Troy would be like, he'd see me coming and start opening up boxes of new stuff, and I'd be like, "What do you got?"
Yeah, yeah. He got the shipment in 3 days before. He was waiting for you to come in.
I
you,
I
you know, and
mean,
like
the new Mandalorian, like they were opening it while I was there. Now, granted, I don't think they were thinking about me when they opened up the case there, but I like the Mandalorian, and so I just, I was like, yeah, I'll take one of those.
you
How
know, like
much
the
is it?
Looney,
Okay.
the Looney Tunes when a character smells like a pie and they start levitating. Like that's basically what happens with Tim with like a comic book. Yeah,
It, I'm telling you, thank goodness, I haven't had like I'm not so bad where I'm just like, you know what? I could just take another mortgage out, you
I mean, we're
know?
thankful
Ooh,
you have a family, because like otherwise you just
Yes, yes, there it is. My family does ground me. That is like,
Emma humbles you.
yeah, she does. Emma does, because she takes my money.
Well, guys, I thought we could, as we're, you know, wrapping up here, and I know we got heroes to look forward to, just in a couple minutes. If we couldn't, and I know there's like 3 years worth of stuff we could look back on. What is one thing that you, looking back on 3 years of doing chasing, that you think fondly of? Tim,
I would
you wanna start?
say,
All right, Lauren.
for me, I can't say one thing, but I will say one common thing is all the awesome guests that we've been able to have on our show doing this podcast. I mean,
Mhm.
we've had so many great people, local people, national people, that has just been so great to have on our show and be a part of what we're doing. So we really appreciate everybody that's ever been on. And you
Yeah.
know who you are. To try to name everybody would be impossible, but we as a group so appreciate everybody that's come on and been with us. So that for me would probably be, the greatest memory, I suppose, of the last couple of years. So yeah,
Yeah,
that's where I'm gonna.
definitely. And we'll do, hopefully, we'll have more to come. We'll get back to a decent schedule as we can, and hopefully can there's still more people to talk, always going to be more people to talk to.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I learned from my time volunteering back in the day when you would try to like name all the people who like you needed to address by name. If you That was always a risk. Never do that. Never try to name everybody because you always forget that one person, and that one person feels awful. So
Yeah.
like you said, if you've been on the show, we know who you are. Check out our playlist on YouTube of all the episodes. They're great, and we do appreciate everybody who's been on the show. Tim, what
Man,
about you?
boy, is that a loaded question because I don't like any of you. No, I'm just
Mm,
kidding. I'm just kidding. So, I 100% agree with everything that you guys have said, and not only that, but a lot of friends that I've made at these shows, a lot of people, you know, customers and vendors alike that I really look forward to seeing at every single show I go to. Um, a lot of people really, you go to work every day, and sometimes work is just work.
Mhm.
It's a means to put food on the table and pay your bills. Um, but when I do shows, for me, it's really something that I super enjoy doing, and I look forward to uh, one show to the next show, even when I'm exhausted. I know, like Tyler knows, like if I'm texting him, which I think I've gotten better at not doing so much. But if I'm texting him at like 11 o'clock at night, 12 o'clock at night, talk about a show, it's just that shows are constantly on my mind and going, because I'm just really I'm looking forward to the next one, and getting out there and talking shop, you know,
yeah,
talking about everything, pretty much the premise of why Chasing Collectibles was started, just talking shop with everybody.
just and from my side, and this kind of relates to what you were saying. Is For me, when I got my job at Nickel Spot Comics, I went from working at Steak and Shake for 3 years, which is I had good memories there, but like not where I wanted to be. But when I got the offer, like, hey, can I be at Steak and Shake or work at a comic book store and have my uniform be a t-shirt, shorts, work for the comic books all the time, hold, these expensive books I would never get to have otherwise, I was like, please, and then when that ended, it was kind of I knew I'd be teaching at some point, it wouldn't last forever. As George Harrison wrote, all things must pass, but I didn't think all things must pass would be like within a year. And I know Lauren and Tim, both of you, it was a bit of, we know why it happened, but it was a bit of a drag when Nickel Spot closed. And I was like, oh dang, okay, I guess that's over. And I teach now and I love what I do. And we all have other things that we love doing. You've got the band and all that, Lauren. But it's
Mhm.
cool that like whenever I do a show, whenever I do this, it feels like uh I guess noble nostalgia. It feels nostalgic and it feels cool that I can, it's almost like being back in the shop and having all the, hanging out with you guys, talking with people and having a great time. It's like, hey, even though I've got my main job, this is something where I get to talk about the things I love, and it's pretty cool. So I don't take that for granted.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
So not to get gushy,
yeah. No,
Yeah. And with that, I think we should call it. I think we should wrap this up.
before we get to,
you
you got
always were a crier.
guys, please. I had a good moment.
Hey, at least it's something worth crying about. I love you guys. Well, not you,
Uh,
Tim, but
Please, can we wait till the check gets here and you pay before you leave? Don't storm out again. But no, this is great. I
I'll
appreciate
give
it.
you something to cry about.
Mm. We're crying when we see how much money we don't have after we spend it all at Heroes.
Yeah.
But
Oh, so one more thing before we go, okay? Because we talked about heroes, and I don't mean to ramble, but sometimes when I tell you or Courtney or something like that, I'm going to the bathroom, I take the long way to the
mm,
bathroom,
I'm
Yeah,
zigzagging,
sure.
we
zigzagging.
knew.
And luckily now I have it on my phone. I've got the square. Back in the day, it'd be like, okay, Tim left. He's got the square. This guy. I was like, Tim, this guy's about to spend. He wants to buy the whole lot. Where are you? And then Tim came back like he's gone.
Yep.
We lost Moby Dick. We lost the whale. You
But
know,
the good news is that
Oh, but
now
look
I
what
have
I
the
got. I got
spider.
a new toy. Yippee
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
yippee.
like when I spent $20.
The, the good news is I just bought this Spider-Man toy and it came with the Daily Bugle. I
No,
mean, come on.
I just bought this toy of this obscure X-Men character that hasn't appeared in 15 years. That's a
Man,
Why
I
not?
was speaking of which, I was on eBay one time, and I always do specific searches, and I searched Spider-Man Buddy L. Buddy L is a toy company that made like the race car, the van, the motorbike, and what else was it? Anyway, and one night I saw the black Spider-Man costume with a Buddy L jet, Secret Wars, and I never knew that existed. And I'm like, I'm gonna get this, and I bid on it up to over $100, and I finally was like, dang it. And now I'm kicking myself because I should have got that thing because I've never seen it since, and I never knew it even existed.
Yeah,
But
we've all
hopefully
there
it'll
had
we
come
those
go.
back.
moments.
Huh?
Yeah.
We've all had those moments.
Dang,
We have
dang.
moments of regret, not bidding higher, me signing my contract with this company. I mean, we've all, but anyway, guys, excited for Heroes, excited for the future. Here's to 3 years, three, 3 years of chasing collectibles, and hopefully many more. Can we do the thing to sign off? Are we coordinated enough? Yay!
Yay!
Comic.
Comics!
Comics. See you guys.
Yay! Comics!